Hey, it's Mike Brennan. Yes, we're back again on another MI Tech TV. We have some regulars and some newbies, and one of our regulars is Melih Oztalay, who, as many of you know, is also my business partner on MI Tech News and TV, and does all my work behind the scenes. So let's talk about how does AI, artificial intelligence, improve lead generation over traditional methods? Take it away,
Hey
Melih.
guys, great to be back on the show. As we've continued our efforts on artificial intelligence, which we started about a year ago on this show, now what I want to do is I want to kind of twist it around a little bit. Instead of talking about AI and the AI tools that are out there, let's figure out how we actually put this into action. A lot of businesses are interested in one thing, especially nowadays when it comes to B2B companies. Post pandemic, we're finding that there's a lot more interest in lead generation. And the question is, how do you do lead generation? And of course, if you're on LinkedIn for any amount of time, you know that you're being pitched on lead generation from all over the world. And more importantly, most of those services, so to speak, are nothing more than cold outreach, which usually doesn't result in a lot. However, what we can do, on the other hand, is figure out how do we use lead generation with artificial intelligence, number one, and how do we use lead generation as it as it in conjunction with, let's say, our website. In other words, instead of trying to chase down cold lead generation, let's chase down warm ones. And warm ones is what I define as those that are coming to your website. So that's your starting point in this whole process is, when we talk about using AI for lead generation, yes, we want to do automation. Absolutely. I'm not against that. We also want to personalize it to the person that's visiting the website. And what's great about AI is that we can gather chunks of data, lots of data, and have it analyze it for us in a few seconds and help us with what's called predictive analytics. And so, as we go through this process, like I said, there's a shift happening over the last 2 years since AI first came to, ChatGPT first came to market the way it did, in terms of going from the manual side to data driven or AI driven strategies for marketing. In this case, we're specifically talking about lead generation. So that's kind of the concept of today's conversation. Let me see if you guys have any thoughts or feedback on some of this.
Well, you also say that there are various AI-driven platforms to help find leads. Talk about those for a second, if you would. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, so first of all, let's start with LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn has Sales Navigator, which is great for prospecting and integrates AI tools into it. There's also, I don't know how many people are familiar with this, but there's a service called Zoom Info, which originally was where you bought your email list, your address list. If you go back about 20 years ago, Zoom Info was there, and you could buy your address list so you can send out, direct mail. Well, as time went across, these guys moved on into gathering email addresses, and then now that we're where we are today, they also are a good source for lead generation, or I should say, lead generation tools, in order to secure um, possible sales leads for your sales team. And then the question is, how do you take those AI powered tools and incorporate them into your CRM? And so, as you can imagine, Sales Navigator and Zoom Info, for example, will work directly in with HubSpot or with Salesforce, as an example. Those are just a couple of, or a few AI tools or platforms that work really well in terms of lead generation, and then, of course, tying it into your CRM.
And once you get sales leads and they become buyers, talk to us a little bit about how AI tools can help businesses understand their buyers better.
So, all right. So let's use the website as our example. So you got, like I said, we're looking for warm leads, right? And so if we take the website, and you've got traffic coming to it, whether it's paid or organic, whatever the case is, If they're paid, they got there because they clicked on a keyword relative to what they were searching on. If they're organic, it's even better because they're searching on a keyword related to your website, and Google decided that your website or your web page is appropriate for that. Now, that's what I call a warm lead. When they get to your website, for example, in our case, we use a conversion rate optimization AI tool that actually creates a journey funnel for that website visitor. Each visitor gets its own journey funnel. And it doesn't make a difference if they're there once, if they come back a week later, 2 weeks later, 10 days later, it doesn't make a difference. It continues to build on that journey for that specific visitor. Um, Based on the journey, the AI tool in your website now decides what call to action to serve up right there in the website. Doesn't make a difference what page they're on, does whatever the case is. It serves up a call to action, an active call to action versus a passive one, right? Passive one meaning that it's just a button on your web page and you're expecting the website visitor to click on it. In this case, the AI tool is saying, you know what? At the top of the funnel, I'm going to give you a passive call to action and just give you some information and pop it up on the screen. But further down the funnel, as the person shows more interest, they're going through more pages, they have more visits, etc. It gets a little bit more aggressive, and then finally, you know, kind of looks around and says, "Hey, I think you need a contact. Contact us." And so, when you think about AI as a journey funnel and helping the buyer down a path and to become a lead, this is a perfect example where the website AI tool is taking warm visitors and helping them become a lead. That's perfect example for this.
Hmm.
So, what are some AI tools that businesses can start using today?
I think we talked about that. In other words, Sales Navigator, Zoom Info, tie that into your CRM with HubSpot, Salesforce, whichever the case is. But those are, that would probably be the route to take in this process. Um, if I go back to what we just talked about in terms of creating the buyer's journey, um, I think that, the idea is secure the people that are on your website first before spending money, even if it's a low budget, especially coming from international sources, that just will take too long, take a lot of time, and more importantly, it's not going to get you the right people because those are cold outreach type scenarios. I think the best thing to do is use data driven decision making processes, right? So the data is the website visitor coming to your that's on your website. The data is the AI tool gathering information about what pages are going to and what is likely to be of their interest. If you're a B2B company, for example, and you have, let's just, we're all in Michigan, we have manufacturers, right? And so let's use them as an example. They have, I don't know, 5 different major products that they're selling, right? Well, if the buyer keeps going in one direction, then the AI tool can personalize their experience by feeding a call to action to them specific to that product that they're chasing down or the one that they keep going back to, right? So the idea is, use this to gather their info and make sure that they become a lead. And it's a little bit like lead scoring, right? You're analyzing their past behavior to determine what's the most likely path for them to take to become a lead. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sure. So talk to us a little bit about using AI for website and chatbot engagements, the chatbot stuff that I was particularly interested in.
And that's a good one because what I've been telling you about is the AI tool that's automated, right? We're talking about taking the website visitor and automating the call to action, gathering their past behavior, etc. The chatbot is great because let's say that you have somebody who's visited the website twice, for example. They come to the website, and the second time that they're there, now all of a sudden they're saying, you know what, let me talk to somebody, but they don't want to talk to a human. Believe it or not, that's one of the things that's going on right now. The prospect doesn't want to give themselves away right away, but they want to learn a little bit more about you. All right. So the idea over here is that they're going to go to the AI chatbot and start asking questions, very similar to asking questions through Chat GPT. But in the chatbot case, we have to feed it enough information about who we are as a brand, um, what products we have or what services we have, and based on that, build out um, an information source that it will over time learn, and based on its learning behavior, turn around and become more effective to the website visitor, who's perhaps just looking for general information. But you could actually take that process now that they've engaged with the AI chatbot, and turn around and have the chatbot help guide them to becoming a lead. Right? It's not just about chatting, but it's about allowing the AI tool to actually figure out how to convert that person while they're chatting with them.
Huh.
That changes the whole dynamic of a chatbot, right? I mean, we've had these chat tools on our website, so gosh, for over 10 years. But integrating a chat GPT into this, who knows about your brand, your products, and your services, it makes it even that much more efficient to take that person and no, I shouldn't say force, point them down the road of becoming a lead. So let me give you guys a case study. Very cool. So in 2024, we had a project that we started, it's still going on today. We had a project that started about end of summer 2023. And what we did was we took a look at the AI tool, the first one I was telling you about, where we created this journey funnel. And just from January 24 to December 24, we took a look at the highlights. And first of all, we generated 4,300 leads globally. 1,000 of them, so a quarter of them roughly, were from the US. So and what that turned down to is we averaged 10 leads per day over the course of 2024. When we took a look at the year-over-year growth, in other words, June to December 23 compared to June to December 2024, we had a 198% increase in global leads year over year. So that was phenomenal numbers. And essentially, I think the most important part of this is that the US market, which is the penetration that we were really tasked with ultimately, went from 2.5 leads per day, let's call it 3 leads per day in 23. That bumped up to 5 leads a day in 2024, which ultimately became a 94% growth rate. Now, this particular client is in the technology industry. They're in for lack of better words, the software as a service, and that might be part of why we received the results that we've seen here. But I'm looking at other projects that we have. We've seen continually increases in the number of leads by using AI within their website.
Okay. So, where can folks go to find out more of this sage advice from Melih Oztalay?
So, number one, come check out our website. We have lots and lots of information about AI and marketing and business. Our website is at smartfindsmarketing.com. Alternatively, check me out on LinkedIn. I have 22,000 really close friends, and so I can help you expand your reach if you tag me on your posts. And I guarantee you, I'm the only Melih Oztalay on LinkedIn.